What is up, everyone? Welcome to Geezer Skate Company. Today we have Nate on the line, on the phone line. So what's up, Nate?
What's up, Nate?
And today we're going to be, actually, Nate and I have both watched the film, Minding the Gap, the documentary, and we are going to be actually talking about that film today. So just so you know, there's going to be spoilers in here and all kind of things. So if you haven't seen the film, or if you don't mind spoilers, just continue watching. But if you haven't seen the film yet, abandon this. You can go watch our review on the trailer itself and then watch the film. And then just come right back here and see what we're going to be talking about today. Before we move on, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you do not miss any of the future videos. And go ahead and hit that like button. You're hitting buttons already anyway. So Nate, we both have seen the film Minding the Gap. So let's start with let's just see what you got. What are you thinking straight off the bat?
All right. Well, just real quick, also letting everybody know the main way to view this is on Hulu. It is
Yes.
Hulu exclusive.
That's right.
So if you don't have Hulu, you need to sign up for even just a free trial of Hulu so you can watch it, and cancel it before it starts charging you money.
Is that what you did?
Little pro tip from me to you.
All right.
I haven't canceled it yet because there's a few other things on Hulu I see that I want to watch.
Oh, you're gonna be hooked now on Hulu.
Probably, yeah.
Yep.
Probably so. So anyways, yeah, right off the bat, man, dude, it was amazing the trust
Dude.
the filmmaker that his friends put in him.
Dude, I mean, that was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that this thing was even released, quite honestly.
Yeah, because I'm sure they had to have seen, the final cut before it was released.
I know.
Just to be, okay, I'm okay with you showing this and you revealing, these things that they revealed about themselves and about their family life and things that were revealed about them.
So,
I was just like, holy crap.
right. So the characters he's speaking of, there are three major characters, right?
And I guess we should just, as a brief summary, just tell people the plot is basically three friends in this crappy little town in Illinois.
Yeah, Rockford, Illinois.
Rockford, Illinois, which apparently has one of the highest crime rates in the country, and a good portion of those crimes are domestic violence crimes.
It's so insane, man. Yeah, so that's a good setup. What else?
Three kids. These three kids bond together over their shared love of skateboarding.
Right.
And they're really decent skaters.
Yeah, they are really decent skaters. So the
that guy.
Yeah, man. We'll get into that a little bit. So there's the main filmmaker, Bing, which you don't see a whole lot, but you do see him during the film some.
Yep.
And you definitely get a glimpse of why he made this film to begin with. And then there's Kier and Zach, right?
Yeah.
So those are the three main characters, the three friends. And you know what I thought was cool about this, Nate, is that they had old footage. Like, that's what tripped me out.
Yeah, kind of like how we do.
Yeah.
Bing, it looks like, was, their documentarian from the earliest days.
I know. I don't want to tackle this subject matter, honestly, because, I didn't deal with this subject matter in my life.
I'm very thankful.
Yeah, me too.
Our childhoods were not this traumatic.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that they had all of that footage, man, and that they were able to make that montage, especially at the end when it just, and this is a spoiler, guys, so it goes through their life and just like real quick glimpses. It shows them growing, and that was insanely amazing to me.
Yeah, I liked that a lot. That was really cool. In fact, Bing, one of the articles interview I was reading with him, was talking about how that came to be, and that was how the last thing that he had put together together for it, and just how how it came, how he came, his buddy that was helping him edit the film came up with that, and it made it for the perfect ending.
Yes, it did. It did make for the perfect ending, and I remember him talking about. They're like, "Hey, why are you filming everything?" And he's like, "Well, I want to make a montage." so there it is.
Yep, and thank goodness he films everything.
I know. I know he did, and if you guys don't know, that we are in the process of recording, and I'm going to show some VHS tapes, Nate here. We are in the process of converting a lot of our VHS tapes from back in the day. I have VHS. I have VHS-C. What else do I have? High 8 film. I don't think I have any other formats, but we are in the process of converting these so that you guys can enjoy them and see our crappy skating from way back in the East Texas area.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, there won't be really any emotional revelations.
No, not at all. No, nothing.
That, but yeah, there's a butt ton of crappy skating.
Yeah, for sure. But I want to talk about the title of the film, Minding the Gap. So I thought that was a freaking brilliant film title for this film.
Yeah, no, definitely, because it's definitely these guys are especially Zach.
Yeah.
Is they're caught, and even Kier to a certain extent just before the very end.
Yeah.
They're caught in that gap of like, okay, what do we do with our lives? And there's, it doesn't seem like there's all that many paths out of Rockford, Illinois.
Yeah.
You just live there, and you maybe graduate high school, but you certainly don't go to college.
Right, and the thing that I also like about it is it ties into skateboarding just right there, because you're always talking about like ollieing a gap, or like tackling a gap that you want to do a trick over or something. So I mean, it's the perfect freaking title.
It works on multiple levels there.
Yeah, and the other thing is like minding the gap. It's like you need to like another synonym for minding is kind of like tending to, and so that gap between being a kid into transitioning into adulthood, you start kind of, like Zach said, you kind of lose yourself to a certain degree because of all these responsibilities that you have in life now. And so if you don't mind or tend to that gap in there, you will lose yourself. And I think they find themselves ultimately through skateboarding, even toward the end some.
And Tony Hawk, in an article he wrote about the film, put it this way, which I thought was really cool. Is these kids had no control in their home lives, and things were done to them that were way out of their control. And of course they if they were in control, they wouldn't have allowed. And so skateboarding provided them with a form of control. So they put all their energy into that to becoming as good as possible in the one thing in their life that they had control over.
Right, and you
great summation.
It really is, and Kier, whenever he's talking about his dad, he's still trying to make his dad proud through skateboarding, even post mortem.
Right. Yes.
And that hit me pretty hard. I was just like, wow, he's still trying to win approval from his father.
And it breaks your heart knowing that he'll never see how far he's come, and now the fact that where he is now in Denver and the life he's making there.
Yeah, and like we've kind of like hinted at what this is about. We haven't said the word, but ultimately this is about abuse. This is about childhood abuse. I mean, maybe you said that. I don't recall.
No. This is a film about three guys, who were victims of child abuse.
Right.
Various, parental figures in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Then the cycle that is carried on by one of the characters
Right.
in his own relationships.
And man, I just if you if you haven't watched this film and you don't want a spoiler, you need to leave now, go watch the film, and then come back because we're about to talk about that a little bit. So Nate, that kind of freaked me out. Whenever what was Zach's girlfriend's name? Nina.
Nina, yeah.
Yeah. So she brings up the fact that okay. First of all, there's this recording. Talk about that recording real quick.
Oh man, that was hard to listen to.
Yeah.
The voicemail, but yeah.
She's basically cussing him out. Then they're empty threats, but she's threatening a bunch of stuff, and so Bing brings this up to her when he's alone with her, recording her, and said, "So what was that? What was that about? What happened there?" And she says, "Well, whenever you get a scar on your eye," and she shows like it's a small gash, but there is a gash there.
Yeah.
She said, then you would do the same thing, pretty much is what she said. And that's just, kind of a paraphrasing a little bit.
Right.
And so, being Zach's friend, he asks Nina, he's like, how should I approach him about this thing that he may be doing to you? And she tells him that he definitely shouldn't approach him at all. And so, moving on.
And that was, once that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So once that was revealed, that Zach is physically assaulting her.
Yeah.
That for me just completely changed things, and I'm like, okay, so how does he, continue doing this thing with the knowledge, that this happened?
Yeah.
And he's still, documenting everything, and like, okay, what happens next? Because I mean,
right.
Does he confront him about it? Does he make that a big deal? And what's amazing, and the restraint that is shown by him as a filmmaker.
Yes.
Not moralizing, about it, other than just to show it as it is. There's no glamorizing it.
Yeah.
There's no beating you over the head and saying, this, I mean, other than the fact, that it is wrong and, it,
right.
Messed up their lives.
Well, and that's what kind of like once that was revealed, I had to watch it to the end because I had planned on watching just part of it and then watching the rest of it. But when that was revealed, I was like, oh my gosh, is this for real? Did this guy do this? I've got to see, what the guy says, what Zach says. And I know we're talking a lot about Zach and Bing right now. We haven't gotten into Kier too much, but this particular topic and this particular storyline, the sub storyline, kind of becomes a dominant storyline at some point.
It really does. Like the other two storylines really fade, and there's that scene where Bing and Zach are out, by it looks like a lake or something.
Yeah.
Bing asks, if he would ever hit, a female. And,
ooh, God.
He says, dances around it until finally he's like, sometimes.
Yeah.
Quote is, bitches need to be hit.
Oh, God, man.
They're just like, whoa.
I know.
Hey, whoa, no,
you can't
do
that. And okay, so let me ask you kind of maybe a moral type question about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that Bing should have reported his friend?
Yeah, that is a good question, and I would like to see if that's ever answered in any of these interviews he's done lately.
Yeah.
with this, because yeah, it seems like you could go to the police, like here I've got evidence that
Mhm.
Nina has been physically abused by
Right,
Zach,
right, right.
and who knows, maybe some legal action has been taken since the release of this film. I mean,
Yeah,
because that is admittance to an illegal activity. So I don't
right.
know exactly how all that plays out. If the police have seen this movie, and I'd be curious to know if
Hmm.
any action has been taken because of it.
I know, and it's crazy to me. Like, you have a good friend that he just totally set his friendship aside to release this film in a way, like you were saying, like he was completely objective. He said his
Hmm.
he just set it aside.
Yeah, yeah. That to me was especially in the case of Zach,
Yes.
was amazing.
Yeah. So
And even with his own mother, how he
yes.
handled that.
Oh my gosh, that's and his mom was. You could tell she felt horrible that she
Yeah,
ignored what was going on with her with being stepfather. His name was Dennis. Um,
yeah,
she was ignoring what was going on, and she said, "If this film helps you, I'll do this." And so she was willing to talk on camera and get very personal
yeah.
about it.
Holy cow! I can't even imagine doing that with my parents.
No, not at all.
Getting things like, okay, I know this is gonna be super awkward, and millions of people potentially will see this.
Dude, I can't believe. I mean, it's insane. I want to talk about a little bit about Kier now.
Hmm.
So a scene that really struck me, and I was like, "Is this real?" Is the fight scene
Yeah.
when he was really young, and then
Uh huh.
how this kid ran up running away and left his skateboard behind, and then it doesn't just show him jumping up and stomping on his skateboard and it's broken. He has to try for a while, right?
Right. It takes a lot
It's
of effort for him to destroy that board.
and it's so real because you can't just stomp on a board and it's broken because boards are made solid now.
They are, yes.
And he's trying to stomp on this board before this kid comes back to get it.
Yeah.
He winds up breaking it actually. Something about Kier I noticed is, I mean, he seems like a super nice guy ultimately, but he's got a rage inside of him that just comes out a lot of, like every now and then you'll see it. What did you think about that?
Yeah. No. I definitely. Especially because I mean, it sounds like his older brothers could possibly be into gang activity.
Right. Yep.
They're talking about him being the youngest and wasn't involved in their activities, and
Hmm.
how they the one brother stole the money he'd been saving up out of his bedroom.
Well, and toward the beginning, they talk about how he's got to go do a few days, right? And then he'll
Yeah.
be out in at least he's got an out date, right? That's what they said.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, and obviously the things with his father too, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure that he's pissed off about a lot of stuff there.
Yes. Whenever Kier was walking around in the graveyard looking for his father's headstone and
Hmm.
couldn't find it, he didn't remember where it was because he said it had been years since he had been there.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too.
Yeah.
That because I'm not even though he said at some point his father made him so angry he still loves him.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting that he hadn't been back to visit his grave and since the day they had buried him.
Right. Right. And something else about Kier is that he was kind of an outcast from his community to a degree, or
Right.
it seemed like it. And you'll notice that even with his friends, he still felt alone at times.
Right. Yeah, because he's the only black guy there
Right.
with them.
Exactly.
They can't understand what the way things are for him growing up.
Hmm.
and I thought it was also very interesting the new group of friends, he was
Right.
go with, after Bing and Zach had kind of left to go on to their own thing,
Right.
and especially that scene in the house,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
hanging out and talking about, that one kid talking about racism and
Yeah. And how he had to deal with the same thing.
yeah,
And the other kid's like, no, you didn't. You
yeah,
know?
it's a bit different there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. And just other moments you just saw that, even with his closest friends, he was still alone.
Yeah, yeah. So I hope he has found something, a community that he can really belong to.
Yeah, speaking of which, I read something, I think it was today, that he's actually going to be. Okay, by the way, also, this has been nominated for an Oscar, right?
It has, yes.
And
So
so
it,
Kier is
the
supposed to be
Oscars
there,
is
too.
on.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
go.
really?
Yeah, yeah, I just read today that Kier is supposed to actually go.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it wins. I mean, I haven't seen any of the other ones up for best documentary,
Yeah, me either.
but this definitely hit me, and it's something that will stay with me for a long time.
Dude, me too. And something else I want to talk about like, our childhood was nothing like theirs, but I do want to talk about something that, is similar with, how you and I were friends since we were kids, and then how we're friends now as, adults with families and such. So here's what I noticed, man. So, they kind of grow apart like a lot of friends do, right? And then, so there's a lot of skating going on in the beginning. They're having fun, they're hanging out, and they're skating a lot. But as the film moves on, you start seeing a lot less skateboarding. Like, you just get little glimpses of it.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
what happened with us. If you remember, we would maybe go skate once every few years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's exactly. Yeah. We were just, life happens,
Yep.
getting your career going, and
Mm-hmm.
your family started and everything, and there's
Right.
just not the free time that you had when you were a kid, and it's that magical time. Even though like their situations when they were
Oh, it's way
freshman
different.
years were completely shitty. They still skating. I bet if you ask them what they what was the best thing about their childhood, it was the skateboard.
It was skateboarding, you know?
Getting together, just like it was one of the best things about our childhood, besides making our videos and
Mm-hmm.
doing the stupid stuff that we did.
But dude, I mean, and it was also interesting seeing that they had parks to skate in. So,
Yeah, yeah.
we didn't have parks at all.
We
Um,
had nothing.
we
Yeah,
had a
we had.
ditch. We had some schools. We had a spillway occasionally.
Yep.
We had a slab of concrete outside my house that was like 5 by 8 or something.
Yep. Yeah. Just little flat ground tricks there.
Which, by the way, you guys will see later on
Yeah.
at some point with our hammer pants.
Awesome.
But back to the film, man. We haven't mentioned anything about Zach's and Nina's kid.
Yes. So they have a child, a little boy.
Yep. Who's learning to skate.
Yeah, he's learning to skate. He's like, I guess maybe 2 years old or so, or 3 years old when the film ends.
Yeah.
And there's a great moment when Zach is talking about his influence on his son.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
the stability that Nina is experiencing with living with her aunt and uncle
Yeah.
in a nice house where
Mm-hmm.
people love each other and there's no domestic violence.
Yeah.
And then contrasting that with his situation where he's
Right.
his employment is kind of tenuous and he's living with this girl, but they're not married, and they're who knows if there's more domestic abuse going on in that relationship, and he's drinks a lot.
Now that's the girl that he met whenever he moved to Denver, right?
Yes.
I don't-
Tattooed on his wrist.
Yeah, Sam, that's right, right. And then she paid for him to move there first of all, and then she paid for them to move back to Rockford.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, I've been to Denver. I've never been to Rockford, but seeing this video, I can't imagine ever wanting to go to Rockford.
Well, the only reason I want to go to Rockford is because of this film.
Yeah, I'd love to go see
I
that
mean,
skate park.
honestly, yeah.
And go see that shop sounds cool. That they were,
Oh yeah. Oh, that was so messed up. That dude just took the money and ran.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah. So so did you see Bing skate at all in it?
Oh yeah, he was really good.
Yeah, I only saw him with like a little bit though. Like I said, you didn't see him a whole lot. Ultimately,
No,
you saw.
but he was following them, and I mean, like he was damn good because like he went down a set of stairs with the cameras following.
Oh, that's right.
When he was following his line there, man, which was killer.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That was him right behind him, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. But man, would you recommend this film to only skateboarders, or who would you recommend this film to ultimately?
No, I would. And this is. I think this transcends just being a skate movie. I mean,
Yes.
yes, it is about skateboarders, but it, because of the emotional impact of, dealing with past trauma
Right.
and, coming out on the other side of that, I think it's a movie that can appeal to a much broader audience.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Man, it's an amazing film. It's an emotional one.
Yeah.
It's one that
Yeah.
you can't just watch. I think you have to be in a right frame of mind to watch this.
Yeah, you definitely watch without distraction.
Yes,
Uh,
definitely.
you need to just give it your full attention.
Agree to that. But yeah, man, minding the gap, being Lou.
Yeah, I give it 2 skateboards up
Me too. I give it 2 skateboards up.
or 2 trucks up.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, if you guys have not seen the film and this sounds interesting to you, you guys definitely should go over to Hulu and check out this film, Minding the Gap. It's amazing. If you want to see a little trailer reaction video about it, I'll leave a little card here at the end of the video. And if you want to see more videos like this, we need your information, your input. If you don't want to, that's fine, but let us know down there in the comments below if you want to see more videos, more reaction videos. We plan on watching any type of films that have skating in them or they're related in some way. And so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you do not miss those, and the notification bell so you know when we have another video. And we should have another live stream coming up this coming Saturday. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Anything else to add, Nate? Nate?
No, I gotta run, so I will talk with you all later.
All right. Peace out, everyone. See you next time. All right, dude. All right. We can stop this now.